morning, it is around 7 AM and welcome to another day in my life as a solo mum by choice. So Oren woke up at about 5:45 this morning. I nursed him and then I put him back down again because I thought he's probably going to want a little more sleep, which he did. And then he woke up about 15 minutes ago. I gave him another feed in my bed and got him changed, and now we are in the living room. So the only thing currently in our plans today is to meet some friends at 10:30 at a local park. Have a play there, probably eat in the cafe, and then the rest of the day is ours to do what we wish with. So far it looks like it's going to be a nice day, so hopefully the weather holds. This video is also sponsored by HelloFresh, and more about them later in the video. I did some toy sorting recently because I decided we had too many out. And it's definitely helping to create a bit less mess. I made him an absolutely enormous bowl of porridge this morning, but he seems to be eating all of it, which is good. It is Friday today and we have our next dietitian appointment on Monday, and I'm really hoping that his weight will have done well, which I think he will have done, even though like a week ago he was a bit under the weather. He had a slightly upset tummy and he just becomes a bit more fussy with his food when that's the case. But since then he's been eating really well. But I'm also hoping she's going to give the green light to go ahead and do the milk ladder with him. So fingers crossed for that. I mean, he's coping fine with my breast milk and I've been eating dairy for at least a good sort of month or two now. So hopefully that's a good sign. Oh my goodness. Yeah, all of it. As always, the daily chores beckon. So I've got some of his clothes that I washed yesterday that I need to put away. And also, as always, the kitchen needs tidying up. But a lot of this is going to go in the dishwasher, so it shouldn't take me too long. It is 9:15 now. I'm just about to have breakfast, having some Weetabix. Oren had his porridge about an hour ago. He's in a really happy mood this morning as well, which is always lovely to have. I think I might have changed some of his toys around yesterday, which he always finds really fascinating to kind of explore in the morning. And I find I definitely get... he's definitely more like interactive with them when I do that. So now that he's getting bigger, I might start to do that a little bit more frequently than I was doing. What are you doing, monkey? Putting everything onto the floor. I've also realised that the park we're going to later is actually quite near to my parents' house. So I might just drive to them and drop the car off on their driveway to save on the parking charges and then walk up to the park from there. So if we do that, we might as well go and spend a bit of time with my parents this afternoon. Not sure how long we'll stay, but we'll see. Like I said before, our only plan is to meet up with our friends at 10:30, and then after that, the day is ours to do what we please with. Right, monkey, what's mummy gonna wear? I think it might be a comfy dungarees day. Yeah, do you agree? Weather's really weird at the moment. It's very typical of April over here, but like some days it's really hot. Like we had a day where it was 21 degrees recently and I needed shorts and a t-shirt. But today, oi, what are you doing? Today it's only due, I think, to get up to about 11 degrees, so I probably need long sleeves. But then if it's relatively mild, I could do with short sleeves. I just don't know. I think I'm just going to go for a t-shirt under my dungarees, and then I'll just wear a good jacket, and if I'm cold, hopefully that'll keep me warm. Oren, what are you up to? Right, I think this is the look we're going to be going with today. I've also had a text this morning to say that my new passport is ready and it's being delivered today between 9 and 11. So of course we've got this meet up at 10:30, so I'm really hoping it's going to be delivered within the next hour because it's about 9 o'clock now. I need to go on and check if it's just tracked or if it's signed for as well. What have you got there? The Nurofen pot apparently makes a great rattle. Luckily it's got one of those really difficult to open seals so he can't get into it. But still, I think maybe let's not play with that. It is 10 to 10 now. We need to set off soon, and I've realised that we're going to be out long enough that I probably need to take his lunch with me. Luckily I have quite a few bits kind of prepped ready to go. Something new I tried this week is some potato rosties with courgette in, and they've actually done really well. The first day he tried these, he didn't really like them and he wasn't prepared to eat them. However, that was, I think, when his tummy was slightly upset and he was definitely fussier with food then. He's now eating a lot more. So these are now going down well. So I'm going to take one of them with me, just cutting it up into little pieces that are easy for him to eat. And I've also got these puff pastry swirls, again, cutting them into little cubes there and popping them in this box. He also really likes sausages, and because I like cocktail sausages too, I get a pack of 40 like this, and between us we kind of eat them up. So they just go in this little Sistema box here, which is divided. Often I tend to put like savoury stuff in here and some fruit in here, but I'm going to take a banana instead, so I don't need to cut that up. I'll just take it with me. So I've put the sausages in as they are. So there is his lunch. Just setting off now. I have to say the weather is not looking as nice as it was this morning. It's very cloudy, but hopefully it shouldn't rain. Well, he ended up falling asleep on the drive over and he woke up as soon as I turned the car ignition off. So he's only had about 10 minutes. I didn't think he was going to nap now, but he's only had about 10 minutes. He's grumpy about that. And it's just started to spit with rain, so this might not be as successful a trip as I had hoped. Round, baby, round, round, spinning round on me. Ooh. Having your lunch. Wasn't supposed to rain today, but as you can see, got absolutely drenched. Currently ducked under a bridge while the rain dies off a little bit before I do the walk back to my parents' house. Well, the moral of that story is, if it looks like it's going to rain, park close to the park. I got really quite wet on the way back, so I've currently taken off my dungarees and put them on the radiator there to dry off a bit. Orange's just playing with the play corner over here, so I thought we'd stay here, dry off a little bit, and then head on home. I'm not sure if my parents are here, I can't hear them at the moment, but my dad might be working in his studio and my mum might be working upstairs. Oh, I think I can hear my mum as well.
How about your biscuit people? I'm aiming for a calendar.
It is about 3:30 now and we're just about to head back to the flat. I decided to stay until he'd had his nap because I didn't want him to do what happened earlier where he fell asleep in the car and only did like a 10-minute nap. He needs to have at least one proper nap in the day, so I thought we'll stay until he's done his afternoon nap and then we'll go. So that's what we did. And that was an unexpected benefit. Mum and I watched a little bit of the Stand Up to Cancer Bake-Off episode. Dad gave him his bottle and now we're going to head on home. Of course, sod's law too, the weather is now beautiful. It's sunny and lovely and it's just a typical April day where you just have no idea what's going on. Off we go. I got a text message earlier to say that my passport had been delivered, and it has. Oh, is there ever such a thing as a good passport photo? I'm not showing you that. Oh well, at least I'm good now until 2034. So it's coming up to 4:30 now. I've just finished making Owen's dinner. This evening he is having some vegan cream cheese sandwiches. I had some bread that needed eating up. I've actually still got half a sandwich that I put in the fridge probably for tomorrow. Some raspberries, and I've just finished cooking some chicken and broccoli burgers, which I've cut up into little bites. They just need to cool down a bit and then he can have it. Did you eat all your food? Good job, monkey. So it's now coming up to 4:45 and we're just having our chill down time in the evening before bedtime, which will probably be about an hour and a half. I think I'm going to do him a bath tonight as well. Just to say on the food front, that particular meal, I knew he would probably eat the sandwiches because he has always liked that vegan cream cheese, but the broccoli and chicken burgers I made, they're from a broccoli and chicken bite recipe that I just made into burgers and froze, and I took a few out and cooked them now and I'll put it in the fridge for meals throughout the week. But that meal he did not eat for a good few months. Like, I've made it, I want to say like at least 3 or 4 times before he actually was prepared to even try it or eat it. So like, do persist with certain things, and I actually have found that one of the best ways to get Oren to try new foods is to when he's had his, if I've sat him down for lunch or dinner and he's picked at some food, he's had maybe something on the, I always try and put something on that 3 divided plate that I know he likes. So like raspberries, for example, I know he likes. And this evening I knew he'd like the sandwiches and I was pretty sure he'd like the chicken as well. But I always make sure there's at least one thing on his plate that he likes. After he's finished eating that, if he's then not really touching any of the other stuff, what I will often do is take him out of the high chair. Oh, you come to say hi. What I have found to be quite successful at getting him to eat certain foods, or at least try foods that he's not prepared to try at the high chair, is when he's finished having his lunch or dinner and he's picked at what he wants and he's left the rest, is I will then take him out of his high chair, clean him up, take him out of his high chair, turn CBeebies on and sit him on my lap facing the TV and just hold the bowl of food literally in front of, on his lap as well. And it's just a way that you can take a bit of pressure off them when it comes to eating certain foods, because they can't see you and they're not like looking for your reaction because they're obviously facing forwards, facing the TV. TV's on distracting them, so they kind of absent-mindedly pick at stuff. And that's how I actually originally got him to eat those broccoli and chicken bites, was by doing that. He ate an entire plate. He literally would like barely touch it before, and then when I did this and I sat him down in front of the TV, he ate an entire one, and I was like, what? So if you are struggling with your little one being very, very picky and not trying certain things, maybe just give that a go. I just find having like something on to distract them, trying a new environment, you might be really surprised by the reaction you get. Although I would say maybe do it with sort of more finger foods that aren't too messy, because they do tend to like spill it over themselves and stuff and get crumbs, and it's just a bit easier to clean it up than say pasta. Here come the rubber-dubbers, splish, splash, splish, splash. Here come the rubber-dubbers, splish, splash, splash. You're playing with the bubbles. You've got a tooth now, but we need to brush it. Brush, 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 brush. It is just coming up to 7 o'clock now. I put Oren down to bed roughly half an hour ago, and I've just been letting him settle down for a bit and watching some of the behind the scenes stuff for Bridgerton. I'm so excited for season 3. I'm ready for pollen. And actually I kind of wish that I'd waited a bit longer to rewatch the Bridgerton series, because now I'm like, I want it right now and it's basically another month away. I did, however, buy the book for Colin and Penelope. And I have to say, I'm not going to give any spoilers, obviously, but it was a bit, I think because the show is so vibrant and they have so many different like threads that they follow, because it is obviously a show and not just a book, but the book in comparison seemed kind of bland. I don't know, I mean, I enjoyed reading the book, but I think I'm going to enjoy the show much more, because they've changed so much about the show now that I feel like they are entirely different stories, and actually they're kind of enjoyable in their own right. So really excited to see what they do for season 3. I can hear an ice cream van going round outside, and I'm like, it's 7 o'clock, mate, and it's April. Who wants an ice cream? It is coming up to 7:30 now, and I'm starting to get a bit peckish, so I think I'm going to cook my dinner. And that brings me on to today's wonderful sponsor, HelloFresh. I have to say, I really love doing these HelloFresh collaborations because it means I get a week where I don't have to think about what I'm going to cook for dinner. So here are the 3 options I have to choose from this week. So I have the loaded chipotle pulled chicken rice bowl. That looks really good. The speedy bulgogi chicken noodles. And I also have the oven-baked bacon and mushroom risotto. One of my favourite parts about HelloFresh is they always have every week some super quick food options. So this one is the speedy bulgogi chicken noodles, and it only takes 10 to 15 minutes to make. So if I have an evening where I'm feeling super lazy, I really am not in the mind frame to cook, but I'm like, no, Brian, you need to cook, it's good for you, don't just have like takeaway or whatever, then these are a really good option for that. And particularly, you know, being a mum and often being tired, these are really great for that. But I also really like having the option to try some different things, like for example, the mushroom and bacon risotto. I never cook risotto by myself when I don't order it from HelloFresh. But with HelloFresh, I love their risottos. Like, they're really easy to do, really tasty. So I love how it kind of pushes me out my comfort zone a little bit. But I think today what I'm feeling like is the loaded chipotle pulled chicken rice balls. I think this is what I'm going to make today. And voila, I have just finished making my dinner. Let's give it a try. It's really tasty. And I just love how I get to try things that I would never normally cook. The other thing I really love about HelloFresh is it just takes one piece of the mental load off of me. I don't have to think, after a day of thinking of meals for Orin and for myself, you know, I get to the evening and I'm tired and I'm like, look, I just don't have the capacity to do this anymore. And I know that I just have to pick up a sheet, follow the instructions on the back, and I'm good to go. So if you'd like to give HelloFresh a go, you can use my code STARS60 to get 60% off your first box, plus free desserts for life. So be sure to click the link in the description box down below or scan the QR code on the screen here to get your discount. And once again, thank you so much to HelloFresh for sponsoring my video and making my life just that little bit easier. It is now 8:45 in the evening and I'm just running myself a bath. Today has actually been a really, really lovely day. It's just one of those days where I don't know, everything just kind of works. Even though we got wet, well, I got wet at least coming back from the park, and we popped into my parents' house, and that wasn't initially part of my plan. It was just, you know, a really chill day. Oren was in a good mood, I was in a good mood, you know, we got to hang out with our friends, we got to see my family, and it was just really lovely, you know. It's funny because just yesterday I actually posted a video on my Instagram, my TikTok, talking about how one of my biggest fears, and it's hit me kind of since I hit my like early to mid 20s, has been the realization that, you know, my parents are older, they had me when they were older, and kind of becoming more and more conscious of their age and the fact that they're not going to be here for forever, and I don't know how much time I'm going to have with them. And so I'm really enjoying spending as much time as possible with them. And sometimes people will comment on my videos or my posts or something about how much time I spend with my parents. And I genuinely feel sorry for these people because I can't imagine what it must be like to feel like it's ever a bad thing to spend more time with your parents. It's only in very recent history that we have kind of like separated out our homes. But at one point, we all lived under one roof, you know, multi-generational living. And in many cultures, people still do. It's a very Western idea that we are to be separated out. And my parents and I have talked about potentially in the future not necessarily cohabiting, but at least like maybe living in a property that's been split into two, so it's kind of like two separate houses kind of next to each other, or maybe an annex and a main house. Probably when they get a bit older and they need to think about moving into a property that's a bit more accessible, and then that would mean that I could probably support them a bit more with anything they need help with. But you know what, I'm so lucky that I have such amazing parents who really do love me unconditionally, support me unconditionally, who are a part of my life and are always happy to see me and always happy to see my son. And you know, I'm never going to feel bad about that, and I don't believe I'm ever going to look back in the future when they are gone and regret time I did spend with them. I think if anything, I'll wish I'd spent more. So yeah, I just wanted to touch on that and say if any of you are in a similar boat where, like, I sometimes lie in bed at night and it's the one thing that really cripples me with anxiety, like paralyzes me with anxiety, about the thought of they're not going to be here one day and I'm like, oh my god, what am I going to do? You know, I don't feel like I'll ever be ready not to have my parents here, and it's something you don't have any say over. So like it is scary. And as I said, I posted this video yesterday and so many people commented saying they experienced the same thing, so I just wanted to kind of share it in case any of you out there are in the same boat. And yeah, I don't think it doesn't seem to just be an older parent thing. Maybe it's more of an only child thing, but yeah, it is something that we have to go through, and it's not fun, but I plan to make the most of every minute I have with my parents, and while they are still thankfully fit and healthy, we're gonna do as much as we can, travel together, go on holidays, you know, just enjoy our time. On another note, I have just remembered that I really, really need to strip and change my bedding, because I was eating something with chocolate in it recently and I spilt it and there's like smudges on the sheet and I really need to change it. I think I'm going to try and do that before I have my bath. I forgot how exhausting it is to change a set of duvets. It's not so bad stripping the bed, but putting the new covers back on, that's the bit that's tiring. Just gone past 10 o'clock now. I've just finished having my bath. I'm just eating a biscuit and I think I'm about to go to bed. The washing machine is about to finish and I need to load up and set the dishwasher going for the night. I did get a new dishwasher, by the way, and it has this amazing feature where it automatically opens when it's done so that the plates and everything can dry and air out rather than it beep at you and you have to go and manually open it like I did with my old dishwasher. It's amazing. But thank you so much for watching, everyone. I do hope you enjoyed this day in my life. Sorry about the noise in the background, but I'm not sure how long this is going to go on for and I want to get to bed. As always, I appreciate the support from all of you, and especially those of you who are the Precious Star Superstar members. Thank you for your extra support each month too. I hope you're all having a wonderful day wherever you are in the world, and I wish you all the best, and I will see you soon. Bye guys, have a great day.